Hello, my name is Justin Lewis, and I am a colon cancer survivor and advocate. I just want to let you know not to wait. Just go ahead and get yourself a colonoscopy today. Get screened because this is serious. It is a silent killer, and we must silence the killing. My story starts roughly in July 2022. My family and I were in transition, moving from Minneapolis out here to San Diego. However, we did have a stop in Orlando because my oldest daughter is a competitive dancer, so we went there for the nationals. And while we were staying at an Airbnb, I went to the bathroom and I noticed that there was blood in my stool. And I was a little alarmed because that's not normal, right? But I thought it was something that was, like a tore tissue or maybe I had hemorrhoids or something like that. But so I was calling all my family members that had hemorrhoids, people that I knew that had them, and I'm like, okay, what was your experience like? And trying to calm myself down, and so I didn't really brush it off, but I kept an eye on it. Later on, roughly about October, November, it kept going, and it got worse. It got to the point where I was having stomach cramps and using the bathroom about 8 to 10 times a day. And I stopped ignoring what was going on with my body, and I listened to what was happening with my body, and I decided, I'm gonna go to urgent care first and see what's going on there. That I've had stool samples and nothing came back, and I've tried all these other things except for actually going to the doctor. So in 2023, roughly around March, I had an endoscopy scheduled, and I wasn't given all the information for my endoscopy. I showed up. I didn't do the prep work because I wasn't informed of it, and it's nothing that I've had done before, so I didn't know. I was ignorant, and they told me that they couldn't do it because I did not do the prep work. But I was like, "You got to do something. What can we do?" And they were like, "We can't get you in for another endoscopy," and I'm like, "Get me in for a colonoscopy then." And they were like, "I don't think you need it," and I'm like, "Nope, just do it." And I had to kind of push for it. So they scheduled me for one the following week. And April 6th, 2023, that's a day that I'll never forget. I heard those words: "You have colon cancer." The doctor said he was 98% sure. He had no other evidence, but based upon his experience and what he saw of that mass inside of me, um, he was so certain that I had colon cancer. Um, I was in shock. I couldn't believe what was going on with me. My wife was standing there. I was just numb. And I went 3 days without feeling anything. I was just telling my individual family members, calling them one by one. And I finally hit uh, my breaking point on that third day. And I had my moment with my own mortality. I thought I was going to die. Um, I have two little girls. Right now they're 10 and 7, but at the time, they were 8 and 5. And I'm like, I need to see them live. I need to walk them down the aisle. I know how it is to be raised without a father, and I did not want to be missing from their life. Like, what's my wife going to do without me? Um, and 40 days later, on my daughter's fifth birthday, when she turned 5, I had a surgery to remove a foot of my colon. And what's crazy, before I had my surgery, they did all the testing. They took a biopsy, they took 6 pieces of this mass when they did the colonoscopy. All of them came back negative. My blood tests were negative. An MRI, they found no cancer anywhere in my body. So they were like, we don't know how to really treat this, but we're gonna go the extreme route, and that's where we're gonna just give you surgery. And I'm like, if there's anything in my body that doesn't belong there, get it out. So I am one for surgery. So when I had that surgery, the very next day, on May 17th, is when they confirmed that it was stage 2A colon cancer, and it was embedded in the mass. And the scariest part about it is that my surgeon told me, based upon the size of that mass and where it was located in my colon, I was developing cancer for about 10 years. So at 28 years old, I started developing cancer and did not know it. No signs, no symptoms, no nothing. Just something inside of me growing that wasn't supposed to be there. So I am here to tell you, I'm using the rest of my life and the rest of the breath in my body to educate any individual, men, women, black men specifically, men of color specifically. Break the stigma. There's nothing emasculate about being tested. I can tell you, being humble enough to be tested is way more important than not being tested. If you love your family and your family loves you, do it for them. It has nothing to do with anything else. Do it for them. I'm here today to tell you that catching it early is what can make the difference. Don't play games with your body.